What's good, y'all? You too. Flash Speech back, man. Quick lunchtime break, man. Update to some things. First, we definitely got to start off, man, with prayers out, man, and up for Juju Watkins. What had happened. I kind of waited to see what the actual word was, and it was kind of like what we feared a little bit. ACL injury looks like is what I'm hearing. And so obviously, we won't see her again for the rest of the tournament, and she'll be undergoing surgery, and then obviously, rehabbing right after that. So we should definitely see her back next season. This is unfortunate because she's one of the players that, on the women's side, that pretty much all eyes were on. Her, as well as Paige Bueckers, as well as others like the girls in Notre Dame and LSU, and the typical stars that are will probably the future of the WNBA. But what I did catch prior to the Juju situation was the UConn game, and obviously, at this point they're not facing opponents that are noteworthy yet. But still, with that, Paige Bueckers played one of the best games, I've seen her play since I've been watching her. She's had others for sure, but she really yesterday just dominated, separated herself from the rest of the pack. Looked like that number one pick that everyone is expecting, and really, it was that second quarter. She had a ridiculous second quarter. I think she might have missed only 2 shots. And then once she saw she was hot, she, kept shooting. Hell of a game by UConn. A game where, they really blew them out, primarily because they controlled the turnover. Well, they won the turnover battle big time. It was a game where actually the opponent made more three-pointers than they did. The opponent made 1 3-pointer. UConn only makes 7 3-pointers and still dominate because of taking care of the ball. These fundamental things in basketball that we preach constantly, that, you have to have. They're indispensable things. Typically, you want to control the glass. You got to win the turnover battle. UConn had 7 turnovers all game, which is ridiculous. Excellent. Very efficient game. And it's great when your leader, Paige Bueckers, has a ridiculous assist-to-turnover ratio. She's a player that this year went 50, 40, 90, which is ridiculous. 40% from 3, 50% from the field, 90% from the free throw line. What more can you say? She plays sound defense. She can score from pretty much anywhere on the floor. This is why, I've been saying, when people try to compare her and Caitlin Clark, for me, Paige Bueckers is the superior player. I don't get how anyone can see that differently. The only thing that has ever held Paige Bueckers back, a player who's been touted as being the best young women's player probably over the last 6-7 years. The only thing that's held her back is her body. Because she had 2, major injuries. Maybe 3, actually. I believe she had a foot, and she had 2 knees. That's probably the only thing that could stop Paige Bueckers. If anyone was to, say, rank Caitlin Clark over her, that would be the only thing. Is that Caitlin Clark apparently must be very durable because she hasn't had any major injuries that we know about. Even Angel Reese has had a major injury, and then now she's got the wrist for the second time, and unfortunately, that's the case with that, and with sports. And we hope that isn't anything too major, but we hope that she recovers from that. And this is just something that's a little bit annoying earlier in her career, and that doesn't persist. But yeah, Paige Bueckers, man, I was really, really, really impressed with the game. I get it. It's not the greatest opponent But like I said, that has nothing to do with how she played. She very cerebral player, man. I love her mid-range game. I love her post game. And when people compare her and Caitlin Clark, listen, I think that's going to be really the rivalry, the move, because you got to look. More than likely, unless Dallas just loses their mind, they're taking Paige Bueckers. Like, why the hell wouldn't you? With Enrique, who, I mean, for my money, she's the most entertaining player to watch in the WNBA. They've added players like DJ Carrington, who's has the reputation of a Caitlin stopper, and one of her main rivals, in terms of defense, offense, and you can't beat that. When the Fever goes up against Dallas, it's going to be Paige versus CC. Wow, that's going to be amazing. With Enrique there, and then you got her going to have to deal with DJ Carrington. And then you got Alyssa Smith, who was the former Fever, who's there. Traded for Natasha Howard. That's going to be just a drama-filled situation. That's going to be something, man. And I got something coming up about Dallas in more detail. But I really want to see what people got to say about that when Paige and when Caitlin Clark plays. Because for me, unless Caitlin adds, a mid-range game and a post game, she's not messing with Paige Bueckers to me. The only thing she has over it right now is kind of durability. Just hasn't been injured. But for me, if Paige Bueckers' body doesn't betray her, she's going to be, she'll immediately be moving to that top 20, 15 players in the league for me. I love players that can score from anywhere, And, let me know what y'all think, man, about that. Paige Bueckers versus CC. Who's the better player? Who's the better player? So, I'll get with y'all later, man. Peace out.